Good morning. It was actually a great night's sleep in that little hut of his. And now I'm going to go get some breakfast and we're going to decide what we're going to do today. It's going to be so stinking hot this morning, and we want to be careful that we don't go to any places that might be at fire risk, danger, or any place that's just going to overheat us. We're going to be traveling back to the Greek side of everything today, so we're going to see what all happens. Not sure what I'm doing drinking tea on such a hot day, but we're gonna try it. Apple tea is always worth it. I haven't even introduced my wonderful guide yet. This is Leo.
Hi.
Leo is from the UK but has lived in Cyprus for the past 10
10 years. Yeah, I've been coming and going for maybe 13, but 10 years full time.
So what's it been like being an expat in Cyprus?
Incredible. I never planned to stay for the duration of time that I have. Really, I had a business that went down with the housing recession of 2007-8, and I was at a bit of a loose end. So fancy coming abroad, and I'd been here before. Myself and my partner at the time thought, why not?
Very good.
And after a year, we just fell in love with the place, or I fell in love with the place, and you find opportunities, and it just has a way of, you either love it or hate it here, and it just took me in, and the next thing I know, it was a decade's passed.
Very good. Oh, we've got a visitor here. Hi, puppy. And Hassan coming back with some coffee for us.
You want coffee also?
I'm good, thank you.
Really?
This tea is so good. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody wants some food. Okay. So how did the coronavirus affect you?
Well, excuse me, pardon me. To begin with, I was very fortunate because I was due to leave on a work trip overseas, and we had one case here, and they shut the school system down within the hour.
Wow.
So they were quite fast to respond, because obviously it's a small country with little infrastructure. So in that week, I think that was a Tuesday, and throughout that week I was due to fly on the Thursday. I was watching all of the news in Europe and seeing and trying to work out what was going to happen in Cyprus. I was hanging on to fly. I'd cancelled my work trip, but I was going to go back for a friend's wedding, and they quarantined a flight out of Larnaca, an EasyJet flight, on the Wednesday, so I cancelled. And just what I did, because on the Thursday we went into full lockdown.
Oh, wow.
So the borders shut, and there was a curfew. So you only left the house if you needed to go to the shop for food and essentials, go to the garage for petrol, or go to the hospital for medical reasons. Other than that, you weren't allowed to walk the dog outside, and we were in the house.
Oh, jeez.
And I can't remember exactly how long that went on for, but it was several months. The borders were completely locked down. They let some citizens return from overseas, so students, people working overseas. But I have friends who are residents who were stranded in different countries. Some stranded in Turkey, waiting to get on a boat. They were there for a couple of months. I have a friend who was separated from his wife and kids, but they then flew back to the UK to join him. So yeah, very difficult times, but in doing that, they managed to keep the numbers incredibly low. So I think coronavirus was almost stamped out here very, very early on, but with massive economic, penalties for it. Because obviously in shutting down tourism and shutting down trade in a certain way, and shops being able to open and everyone in curfew, meant there was a huge economic impact on the local population.
That's super challenging.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So the health benefit, but the losses were economic. And then more recently, as things have opened up, we've started to get coronavirus in more, and then it's started to have a heavier impact. So we're back to a situation of quarantining from certain arrivals and closing down certain businesses. And there's a nighttime curfew. So not out of the woods yet, but doing okay.
That's good. Glad to hear that. And then we have Mr. Hassan over there, who said that he was doing super well over there. It hasn't really been badly impacted, fortunately, but you said most tourism. Any other businesses? You said that you have some film businesses that you do?
Yeah. I do. So I work a lot with marketing and film, video production. I've been very fortunate. A lot of my main clients over the last few years have been construction based. So they've been continuing. So I've been able to assist with that. So it was funny, the sort of shift was majorly digital to begin with. So there was a sudden demand for a lot more digital material because people weren't able to meet face to face. And that reliance on sort of print work and physical meetings has reduced. But yeah, no, I've been very fortunate, been able to keep going.
And then you said that you're going to be going back to the UK in 2 days, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So as of November last year, myself and my wife moved back to the UK full time, for the time being anyway, which was planned, but brought forward largely because of coronavirus. So I was doing, over the last couple of years, maybe 3 years, my business has been very focused in the UK. So I've been sort of commuting really. So every month I'd go back for a week or 10 days, and then come back to Cyprus. So it was a lot of time, a lot of time apart from my wife, and a lot of travelling. You know, a lot of the carbon footprint was horrendous. So I thought, you know, there's a certain point at which we decided that we needed to change this, and also being away from family, nice to be around family again, and also looking forward to the sort of accessibility to the rest of Europe. You know, by car, you just jump in the car and drive to France or Spain or Poland in a way that's much easier than doing it from here. So,
for sure.
Looking forward to it. But who knows what the next few years has in store.
I know, you'll be back here before you know it.
Oh, definitely. No, in fact, I am back here. I'm back here in about a week and a half.
Jeez.
So there's a bit of a sort of yo-yo for the coming period. But yeah, I know it's home, so I'm never going to be too far from Cyprus.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Hey, no, thank you. Thank you.
Taking one final little stroll through this little beach hut area before we get back on the road and start heading to the Greek side of the island. 5 lira for a douche or a shower. Some candy here that I'm not sure what kind of message it sells to the children, but cheese and toothbrushes and candy. Donkey! I see some snobber.
Yeah, the more they get into it, the more snobbery.
I wonder if he's going like, oh no, there comes another one. As it turns out, that's exactly what he was thinking, because he started doing this. Hey! Oh my goodness. Wow. You're mean. Of course we made sure the other one got some.
Watch out, the ones. Come on now.
Oh, they're not moving, are they?
Come on now. Come on.
Come on, guys.
On. They're quite agile and not getting hit by a car.
Right. After escaping that rather unique traffic jam, we spent a few more moments enjoying the coast before we turned inland towards Salimas-Famagusta. One nice thing about COVID, there's hardly any tourists around to share this with, so it's pretty much wide open. Here we are at Salimas. Oh my gosh, this is too cool. All these columns, all these old statues that they've got, still standing to this day. Mr. Lizard. This is definitely one of the cooler ruins that I've ever visited. These are actually Roman ruins that have been put here. It's been interesting to see, maybe like these statues that are behind me, we're wondering if maybe they came from somewhere else. And then if you look at some of the columns that they got here, looks like they've had to be re-erected. They've got some rebar down the bottom, looks like they've been glued back together, but what they were able to save looks absolutely fantastic here. These floor tiles here make me so happy. I can't even imagine the man-hours it must have taken to make these patterns and crack the rocks correctly back in those days. Oh, we got some Greek here. Yeah, Greek. Wish my geology knowledge was a little better. I would love to know what kind of stones these are.
But we are staying by the sea,
Nice little refuge here under the street. It is so bloody hot outside. I think for the moment, the heat has won. We're gonna abort mission temporarily and go get some water and some food and cool off. It's warm. So we're walking through the walled city of Famagusta right now. I'm told it's usually quite packed here, and we're just here at a really good time. We're gonna go see a church that looks like a mosque, or it's either a mosque that looks like a church. I'm not sure which right now it is. And then we're gonna get some lunch here. Super cute little place. It's super well developed, and be interesting to see what it's like in its heyday. We're standing inside a mosque that used to be a church, quite obviously from the designs here, and they still have some of the stained glass windows up there. They're kind of hard to see. Very simple and very plain inside. And there's nobody here right now, so we're not being disrespectful of anyone's prayer times right now. Very, very cool. It was made into a mosque in the 15th century by the Ottomans. Messy. There's tomatoes, lettuce, some minced lamb with lots of herbs, and some grilled halloumi cheese in here. Super tasty. And Cyprus definitely likes their chips. In an effort to keep this video from getting too long, we're going to end here with some Turkish delight at part 1. The next place that we're going definitely deserves its own video, as it's a fascinating but very sad representation of the conflict going on between Turkey and Greece on this island.